What kind of beers do they make at the edge of the world? We're about to find out. Hi there and welcome to Brew Report, where this week I am in the Scottish Highlands, or rather I'm out in the islands. I've spent the last few days across Harris, Lewis and Skye picking up a few beers to try across the region here. So we're now on the Isle of Skye, but with us we've got a little taste of Harris, where we've just been. This is from the Isle of Harris Brewing Company. It is their number one, and it's an IPA, 5.5%, and I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what this has to offer. Now, I say 5.5%. Looking at some earlier reviews of this, some of the history of the beer, it used to be at 4.8, so they've taken on board some feedback there, made it a bit stronger. And this one is brewed with 4 hops. We've got a bit of Cascade and Brewer's Gold on the boil, and then we've got some Citra and Columbus on the cool side. So I'm expecting that's going to give us a sort of light, citrusy, fairly fruity aroma to the whole thing. That's enough of that. Let's crack it open and see what's inside. Can opening done on off screen this time, since I had to just bash the thing off on a bin handle. Now, I'm using a frosted glass because it's a bit of a plastic situation we've picked up for the road, but you can already see this is kind of a fairly pale amber in colour, white head, fairly thin bubble structure. In terms of the aroma, I'm already getting quite a bit of that sort of malty, sort of fairly dark malt, sort of dark caramel, slightly roasty, almost a rye sensation from that. Also, like bitter marmalade, slightly darker marmalade. So it's coming through in that sort of caramelly, citrus peel sensation there. So on the tongue, definitely marmalade. A lot of that sort of dark sugar, that dark caramel, citrus peel, orange peel, a little bit of lemon zest in there. And that kind of dark malt flavour is really quite pleasant. That's the thing that sort of leads it. You've got that sort of wholemeal bread, and that, more of that caramel. That leads on to the finish, which is a sort of light and playful hoppy bitterness towards the end. It's quite a traditional beer, and in that sense I think I'd recommend it to, not in a glass like this, but I'd recommend it to a sort of more serious, more traditional real ale drinker. It definitely has that kind of sensation to it. It's more along the lines of a more traditional English style IPA than the more new wave West Coast or East Coast IPAs you see coming over from the States. So perhaps a little bit less accessible for somebody who's more new to the beer scene, but definitely will be a favourite for those card-carrying camera members out there. In terms of pairings, this would go very well both in and with a steak and ale pie, and I could certainly see that going on with a little bit of a Hebridean Highland coup, but equally it's very good on its own at the campsite after climbing up and down mountains all day. That bitterness is just a little bit too pronounced. There's not quite enough malt there to back it up. And so while I'm enjoying it, it's not the sort of thing I'd come back to time and time again. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, but that's enough from me. What I want to hear now is, what did you make of it? Have you ever trekked as far north as Harris or Lewis? Have you tried any beers from the Isle of Harris? And if so, tell me what you think in the comments below. Or if you've got any other favourites from the Scottish Highlands, please do share them as well. If you like this video, then do check out the rest of the videos on my channel, where I post fresh beer content every week, and of course on my blog at brewreport.co.uk. And until next week, happy drinking.